We was admitted into the hospital on May the 3rd. She started waking up on April the 28th, saying that her ear hurt, and it was like any other normal day. And so we put some drops in her ear. She said she felt fine, and she bounced happily off the stool. But that afternoon, when her father picked her up, she was in tears. Within 5 days, we were in the ICU and having emergency surgery. Zara had developed an abscess on the brain that was pressing against a blood vessel that had caused a blood clot. She also had an infection behind the ear. My God, that was starting that Friday, and that Thursday, there we were in surgery. Zara, from the time that it started to the time she had surgery, had swelling behind the ear in the neck. She had stopped turning her neck. There was stiffness in her neck. And her father and I had tag teamed with her, waking up every hour and a half to 2 hours crying in pain. But God kept us. He had told me during the first 3 days of prayer in May that she was going to be okay, but we had to go through a process. We just didn't know the process was going to be this. So after Dr. Babcock came over from another hospital to Sacred Heart to do the surgery so that we wouldn't have to go to Gainesville, we began the process. 9 days in the hospital, 4 of those in the ICU. Zara was sent home with a PICC line in her chest. She had to stay home. I had to be off of work to be with her. Thankfully, her father was here for most of that time with us because God ordained for him to be home, even though he wasn't supposed to be part of that time. I had to administer antibiotics through her PICC line every 8 hours. So Zara and I were up at 6. We hooked her up again at 2 and at 10 at night, and each time it would take an hour. Zara also had to take oral antibiotics every 8 hours along with that. We also had to do eardrops, 2 separate types, twice a day. We also had to give her a shot in the belly every 12 hours for the blood clot to help it dissolve. Oh, what the process was that we had to go through. But God, our Father, was still faithful to us. Zara could have died if that blood clot hadn't moved. She could have been paralyzed on part of her face if the blood clot hadn't moved. But God kept her through this entire process. She smiled, she laughed, and she cried, but God kept us. And so today, we want to thank first God our Father for how he kept her during this process. Even when we had to be readmitted into the hospital because her swelling in her neck had come back and she had got a low-grade temp, we were only there for a little over 24 hours and we were back home again, back in the midst of the process. But God again kept us. We also want to thank her father, Jamal Spencer, for being there with us. I didn't have to do this alone. He stood by us. And so thank you, Jamal, for all that you do. We love you. And to her godfather, Martez, who helped us with our boys, helped get them dressed, get them off to school, pick them up. We appreciate you and all that you do for our family. Thank you. And to our amazing and wonderful spiritual father, Bishop Charles Young, we're so grateful to you. Even when you were tired, you and Lady Shonda came and spent time with us in the ICU and prayed for her. We thank you for your prayers, for your time, for all that you do for Deliverance Tabernacle family. We appreciate you today and we salute you. And to all the other fathers out there, some of you that knew and prayed for Zara and called out her name, we appreciate you. To the fathers that love and care for their daughters and spoil them, and to the fathers that carry their sons until they become men and then walk alongside of them. Today we just show you appreciation and gratitude for all that you do. And so today, Prophetic Movement Dance is for you, to honor you, to praise you for what you do. We thank you, fathers, and we want to say